He chose movement, not perfect movement, not optimal movement, just movement. Because that's what Kaizen really means. The choice between growth and death, made every single day. But here's the problem. Movement without direction just creates busy fools. Guys grinding with no purpose, working hard but going nowhere. Luffy was missing the element that turns motion into unstoppable momentum. The piece that transforms random movement into focused power. Which brings us to part 3, Shin, the heart that refuses rest. You know that feeling when you skip the gym and somehow feel more tired? When resting makes you more exhausted than working? That's not in your head. That's your body trying to tell you something. Luffy discovered this the hard way. He'd take a rest day and feel worse than after his hardest walks. Sit down to relax, and his body would ache. Watch Netflix and feel more drained than after creating videos. At first, he thought something was wrong with him. Maybe he was overdoing it. Maybe he needed more recovery. But then, he found a concept that explained everything. Jin means heart, spirit, mind, but not the way we think about it. To the Japanese, Shin is the restless core of a warrior, the part that never fully relaxes, never fully stops. Think about your heart. It never rests. Even when you sleep, it beats. If it stops, you die. That's Shin, part of you that must keep moving to stay. His body began because creating was flowing, not creating was dying. This is what nobody tells you about Shin. You don't develop it. You don't build it. It's already there, screaming under the sedation. Every time you force yourself to relax when your body wants to move, you're drugging your Shin. Every time you scroll instead of create, you're numbing your warrior heart. Every time you choose comfort over action, you're poisoning the water. Luffy stopped fighting it. When his body said move, he moved. When his mind said create, he created. Not because of discipline, because comfort had become more painful than ever. But here's where things got dangerous. When Luffy combined Kaizen with Shin, something violent happened to his entire existence. The constant movement of Kaizen powered by the restless heart of Shin created something unstoppable. Part 4, the violent awakening. You've probably noticed, dumber people are more successful than you, and you can't figure out why. They start businesses with zero research, launch YouTube channels with terrible ideas, and somehow they're winning while you're still planning. Luffy noticed the same thing, then he figured it out. These people were too stupid to see failure as an option. While Luffy was calculating odds, they were already moving. They didn't think, they just did. But here's what really changed everything for Luffy. He discovered the consumption principle. You become what you feed your mind. Watch Netflix every night, you become a consumer. Listen to sports podcasts, you become a spectator. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between what you consume and what you are. So Luffy did something violent. He deleted every sports podcast, every comedy show, every entertainment app, replaced them with running content and business audiobooks, unfollowed everyone except marathon runners and entrepreneurs. His entire digital world became people running at 5 a.m. and building companies. Nothing else. Then he adopted the today's 100% rule. Stop planning the marathon. Just run today. Stop designing the perfect business. Just create today. Because planning is procrastination dressed up as productivity. His environment became both his prison and his freedom. Prison because he had no escape from growth content. Freedom because when every input pushes you forward, movement becomes automatic. Here's what happened to Luffy's drive. He'd wake up, check his phone, see someone already running. Instant trigger to move. Open YouTube, see someone launching their business. Instant trigger to create. Every app, every notification, every moment pushed him toward action. His body started craving work like an addiction, not through discipline, through environment. When everything you consume is about growth, your brain rewires itself for growth. The restlessness that used to eat him alive, now it had direction. The Kaizen need to move combined with the Shin that never rests. And suddenly, he wasn't just driven, he was possessed. Luffy's fourth realization was simple. Kaizen Shin activated when he stopped giving himself options. When every input pushed him toward movement, stillness became impossible. You become so driven you can't sit still, not through willpower, but through environment. Burn the entertainment bridges. Make movement the only option. 6 months into this experiment, Luffy crossed a line that changed him forever. A line that once you cross, there's no going back. Part 5, the point of no return. Imagine waking up and not needing discipline, moving toward your goals like gravity pulls you down. That's not fantasy. That's what happened to Luffy. 1 year after discovering Kaizen Shin, Luffy was unrecognizable. He completed his first marathon. His YouTube channel hit 50,000 subscribers. But that's not the real transformation. The real transformation was this. He literally couldn't sit still anymore, not creating felt suffocating. His old friends didn't recognize him. They said he'd lost his mind, called him too intense, said he needed to find balance and learn to relax. They didn't understand. Luffy had crossed the point of no return. He discovered something called Shugyo, the warrior's path. But here's what nobody tells you. Shugyo isn't something you do, it's something you become. You don't practice being a warrior, you become one, permanently. This is why Musashi trained until his death, why samurai practiced harder in peace than war. Not because they were disciplined, because stopping made spiritual suicide. Once you activate that warrior spirit, turning it off feels like dying. Luffy finally understood why successful people seem insane to average people. It's not that they're motivated, it's that they've rewired their entire nervous system. Comfort feels like poison, rest feels like death, balance feels like decay. Balance is what average people tell themselves to feel better about wasting their life. There is no balance between growth and decay. You're either moving forward or dying slowly. Some called it obsession, others called it unhealthy. Luffy called it being alive. Because here's the truth. Once you activate Kaizen Shin, you can never go back. Your baseline changes. What used to be comfortable now feels like suffocation. What used to be relaxing now feels like decay. You become someone who creates because not creating hurts, who moves because stillness is agony, who builds because consuming feels like dying. This isn't a phase, it's not a habit you can break. It's a fundamental rewiring of who you are. Luffy's ultimate realization hit him one morning while running. Kaizen Shin isn't a practice or a habit. It's a permanent alteration to your nature. Once activated, you can never go back to being satisfied with stillness. And honestly, he wouldn't want to. That restlessness you feel right now, that discomfort with your comfortable life, that's not a problem. That's your Kaizen Shin trying to break free. Luffy listened to his, fed it, let it consume him, let it transform him into someone his old self wouldn't recognize. The question is, are you ready to become someone who can never be comfortable again? Because once you activate Kaizen Shin, once you become so driven you can't, there's no off switch. But maybe that's exactly what you need. Maybe comfort was never the goal. Maybe the goal was to become so alive that stillness feels like death. Your spirit is already rebelling. Your Shin is already restless. Your Kaizen is waiting to activate. All you have to do is stop fighting it. And if you want to activate your own Kaizen Shin, I created the Musashi Challenge. 5 weeks to build discipline that doesn't break. Link in the description. But only get it if you're ready to become someone who can never be comfortable again. Resolution. You don't need motivation from a TikTok clip. You need to remember the promise you made to yourself when you were alone, when you were frustrated, when you knew you were capable of more, but kept settling for less. You said, I'm done living like this, so act like it. This is about self-respect. You can't claim to love yourself and keep letting yourself slide. You can't talk about discipline and keep choosing comfort every time it gets uncomfortable. You can't want to win and live like someone who's okay losing. You've been handed time. You've been handed opportunity. You've been handed pain, struggle, setbacks, and you're still standing. So tell me this, what are you going to do with what's left? Because this is the year where you either break your patterns or you become the pattern. This is the year where you either take the hit and keep moving forward or you stay down, waiting for someone else to come pick you up. This is the year where you either sacrifice for your goals or your goals get sacrificed again. And let me remind you, you've already done the hard part. You survived every version of your worst days. You carried the weight of your regrets. You've lost, failed, fallen, and you're still breathing. That means you're still in the fight. That means the story is still yours to write. Don't let another 12 months pass and find yourself staring at the same dreams, living the same excuses, repeating the same damn sentence. Next year, for real. No, this year is the one you finish. This year is the one you lock in. This year is the one you go dark, go deep, go all in. This year is the one where you disappear from distractions and reappear with results. Not because the world owed you anything, but because you owed it to yourself. You paid in silence. You paid in sweat. You paid in sacrifice. In early mornings, in lonely nights, in no thank yous to the parties, in maybe later to the fun, in I have work to do when everyone else was chilling. You paid when it wasn't cool. You paid when no one noticed. You paid when quitting was easier. But quitting doesn't build champions. Finishing does. See, this year, this isn't about being motivated. It's about being obsessed, relentless. It's about waking up and doing the work even when your mind says stop. It's about showing up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's not Instagrammable. Because the prize doesn't go to the person who talks the most. It goes to the one who works the longest without applause. And listen close. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be the most talented. You don't even have to believe in yourself right now. But you do have to move. You do have to act. You do have to begin. Because momentum doesn't show up out of nowhere. It's built, brick by brick, set by set, hour by hour. Even on the days you don't feel like it. Especially on the days you don't feel like it. Those are the days that count the most. Those are the days that separate the ones who say they want it from the ones who prove it. The truth is, you've already wasted enough time, wasted enough chances, let enough dreams collect dust. And it's not because you weren't capable, it's because you kept negotiating with the part of you that wants to stay safe. You kept making deals with comfort. You kept letting fear talk you out of action. You kept chasing approval instead of chasing purpose. Not anymore. This year, we stopped negotiating with weakness. We stopped playing small. We stopped asking for permission to be great. We stopped dimming our light so other people feel comfortable around us. This year,